Bonjour tout le monde, welcome to French class. Today we are going to learn how to use comparative of adjectives. We use comparatives when, of course, we want to compare people and things. And you have the same in English. For example, you say, my house is smaller than your house. Or you can say, my house is more expensive than your house. So in those two cases, you want to say more, right? More, and then you're comparing here two houses. One is smaller or one is more expensive. You can also say less, right? The bedroom is less sunny than the kitchen. Now you're comparing a bedroom with a kitchen. Or you can say the sofa is as comfortable as the bed. Now the sofa is equally comfortable than the bed. So in as you notice here, you also use an adjective. So this is what we are going to see now in French. So if you want to say more than in French, you are going to use plus que. For example, if you want to say the black dog is nicer than the white dog, we see here that we are comparing. We are comparing two dogs, a black dog and a white dog. You are going to say le chien noir est plus gentil que le chien blanc. So to say nicer or more, you are going to use plus here and then que that represent then. So plus is placed in front of the adjective and que is placed behind the adjective. Notice here that you do not say plus. You are going to say plus. Plus gentil que le chien. Le chien noir est plus gentil que le chien blanc. Another example. La maison est plus petite que ta maison. Ma maison, sorry. My house is smaller than your house. So smaller is plus petite and than is que. So you place plus in front of petite, in front of the adjective, and que behind the adjective. However, here notice that ma maison is feminine. Therefore, you will need to agree petit with the noun. So you will say petite. You need to add that feminine form here. Petite. Ma maison est plus petite que ta maison. Last example here. Tes cours d'espagnol sont plus intéressants que mes cours d'anglais. Your Spanish classes are more interesting than my English classes. So here again, you will use plus because you want to say more, and you will place plus in front of the adjective and que behind the adjective. Notice here the S, the plural form, because you say tes cours. Tes cours, plural, you need to agree this adjective with the first noun here. So if you want to say less, then you are going to say use moins que. For example, le micro-ondes est moins cher que le frigo. The microwave is less expensive than the fridge. We're still comparing a microwave here with a fridge, but we want to say less. So therefore, we are going to use a moins. Same with as with plus, you will put moins in front of the adjective and que behind the adjective. Moins cher que, less expensive than. Second example, la chambre est moins ensoleillée que la cuisine. The bedroom is less, moins sunny, ensoleillé than que la cuisine, than the kitchen. You place moins in front of the adjective que behind the adjective. However, here, la chambre is feminine. You will need to add that E at the end of the adjective because the adjective must agree with the noun féminine. Last example here. Tes livres sont moins chers que mes livres. Your books are, less expensive than my books. Less, moins, expensive, cher, than que. place moins in front of the adjective que behind the adjective. And here, tes livres are plurals, so you will need to add an S to the adjective. Tes livres sont moins chers que mes livres. Your books are less expensive than my books. Now, if you want to say as, or equally when you're comparing things or people, you are going to use aussi que. For example, le canapé est aussi confortable que le lit. You're comparing the sofa and the bed. The sofa is as comfortable as the bed. Aussi in front of the adjective, que behind the adjective. Here, ma sœur est aussi grande que ma mère. My sister is as, aussi tall, grande as que my mother. Here, because ma sœur is feminine, you will need to agree this adjective with the noun. Therefore, you make this adjective feminine. You must look at the noun. Is it feminine, plural, and you will need to agree this adjective with this noun. Ma sœur est aussi grande que ma mère. Last example here. Mes amies sont aussi amusantes que tes amis. My girlfriends are as funny as your girlfriends. You place aussi in front of the adjective and que behind the adjective. And here we have feminine plural, so you will say amusante, E and S. And of course, you'll do all the little liaisons here. Mes amis sont aussi amusantes que tes amis. So we have a few exceptions here for, but just like in English, for example, with the adjective bon, the form is going to be a bit different. Same as in English, you don't say more good. It doesn't exist here. You use better. So in French, you are going to use meilleur, meilleur. So meilleur féminine, it's going to be meilleur with a E. Plural, it's going to be meilleur or meilleur féminin pluriel. In any case, we do not pronounce it differently. It's always meilleur. So that's the good news, but it's a different form. So, for example, if you want to say the pie is better than the cake, you are going to say la tarte est meilleure que le gâteau. And because la tarte is feminine, you are going to agree meilleur as well, and you are going to add that E. However, for the other moins and less or as equally, you are able to use a bon and not meilleur. La tarte est moins bonne que le gâteau. The pie is less good than the cake. Moins in front of bon, bonne here, and que behind. So we are going to use bonne here. We're adding this because it's a feminine noun. La tarte est moins bonne que le gâteau. If you want to say as good as, you are going to say la tarte est aussi bonne que le gâteau. We also have a different form for mauvais. In English would be pire because we don't say in English more bad, you say worse. So we also have a special form which is pire. However, you will find plus mauvais as well. So an example, mes notes sont pires que tes notes. My grades are worse than your grades. So you use worse in English, you don't say more bad. So in French, you are going to use pire. And pire, you have an S here because the noun is plural. Doesn't change in the feminine because we already have a E here, but you will need to add an S if it's plural. So it doesn't change either if it's masculine singular. Or you can say mes notes sont plus mauvaises que tes notes. In that case, you will add the feminine and the plural because that's the regular form singular masculine. Here would be um, feminine plural? Is it feminine singular? It's only mauvaise. Mauvaise, mauvais. Do not pronounce here that S. If you pronounce it, we're going to understand that it's feminine. Mauvaise, mauvais. However, you will say tes notes sont moins mauvaises que mes notes. Your grades are less bad than my grades. Here, just like in English now, we go back to the regular forms. For less bad, you're going to use moins in front of the adjective, mauvaise, and que behind. Except that here, tes notes are feminine plural, so we need to hear and see the feminine and plural mark. Tes notes sont moins mauvaises que mes notes. Here, last example. Mes notes sont aussi mauvaises que tes notes. And here we're saying my grades are as bad as your grades. So we place aussi in front of the adjective and que behind. And mes notes again, still a feminine plural, and it's going to be mauvaise. Voilà, merci beaucoup. I hope it helped. I will see you in the next video. Au revoir, à bientôt.